Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are picking up exactly where we left off last week with this Mun MapSat 1, which is currently just in orbit of Kerbal, but we are going to be obviously sending it to the moon because that's where it's going to need to be in order to map the moon. And this is all to satisfy, well, actually a whole battery of contracts I kind of have going. I went a little bit, I think, a little too crazy with these, and I think this episode is really going to need to be in center around finishing off contract. It's not just all of the ones you see here. I have all these other ones hidden here. I gotta start knocking these off. And last episode or last week, I did pick up the SCANsat the mod SCANsat by popular demand, and went a little crazy taking contracts. So I have some of these. I have this one here, conduct a multispectral SCANsat survey of Kerbal. That was done last week. It takes time for it to complete. It happens in the background, and so far it has 20% of the 75% that's required for the contract in order to complete. I also have going a high resolution visual scan of Kerbal. And for those people that are not familiar with SCANsat, what it does is it gives you new scientific equipment that you can use to map bodies in the system, and those maps become available to you. They are down here. Let's take a look, for instance, at our Kerbal map. So there, for instance, so far is my visual map of Kerbal. It's also picking up anomalies, little question marks. Oh, maybe we need to find out. Take the opportunity to go and explore some of these. This one is the visual map. I can change it to a biome map. This one's 20% done. You can see that it's mapping biomes, and it'll tell you what biomes. If you hover over them, you can see underneath there, like this is the ice caps, this is the northern ice shelf, this is obviously the water, this is the cold ocean, and etc. like that. So great for hunting down new biomes. And this one here is equipped with two antennas. It's got the, what's this one? The R-3B radar altimeter. That is for doing a low resolution altimetry scan. And we also have down here the MS-R enhanced multispectral scanner. That's for doing both a biome scan and I think a low resolution visual scan, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, I noticed over here on the contracts, I have a contract to do a high resolution visual scan. I don't think this one will cut the mustard, so I think I'm gonna have to end up sending another satellite on its way to the moon, but that's for later. Right now, we need to put this thing, get it going towards the moon. So in order to do that, let's actually get away from all of our nonsense here. Just like take a look at this. We gotta find the moon. And we're going to be going for a polar orbit about the moon. I'm going to set the moon as a target. We've gone to the moon a gazillion times. And this is not all going to be about SCANsat. All the contracts here are about other things besides SCANsat. So we're going to be visiting, not quite sure what order I'm going to do it in, but I do want to start banging some of these off. We'll see what we get. Okay, there's our moon encounter, or not the encounter yet. I got to go forward in time a little bit. There is our moon encounter. And as we're going for a polar orbit, I am reasonably confident. Yeah, see, we're going to be hitting the moon. So what you want to do, you want to end up going above or below the moon. It doesn't matter. But for now, I don't want to do those adjustments here. Here, this burn should just be pure prograde. So I'm going to simply interact by kind of hitting the moon, kind of bang on. And so bang on means that the two trajectories here are right on top of each other. So I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting. I think that's pretty much right. Let's get it so they're right like that. And obviously the plan's not to hit the moon. The plan is going to be bring this trajectory down, so we end up going, I think I'll go below the moon since I'm already hitting a little bit below. And that will be done with a mid-course correction burn. Hello, Gilgamoth. I am doing very well, thank you. And also I always end up getting some of these wrong, so I'm going to apologize in advance. But Woj Raff Gaming, Woj, Canadian Aviator 1, and Zero Lad. yeah, so welcome aboard, everybody. Everyone else who I have not mentioned. Zero Lad saying, I've never used SCANsat. Does it generate science points too? Yes, it does generate science points as well. So it is slowly accumulating data as the map fills out, and it's not, I don't believe you have all the data until the map is 100% complete, but you can transmit as you go. And in fact, if you remind me, I'll go back to those guys, the two satellites that are in orbit about Kerbal, and we'll make sure to collect some science from those as well. So they are an additional source of science too. Okay, we got this burn coming up in 15 minutes, so let's just time warp to that and get her done. Orient this to put it onto... This feels backwards. Why does that feel backwards? There we go. I don't know why this feels like a forwards direction to me. No, I'm definitely going prograde. I shouldn't be silly. It's just the way I had the camera. Alright. So unfortunately happened to be on the night side of Kerbal, but of course that's going to happen half the time, isn't it? Actually, technically it's a little bit less than half the time, but that's going a little bit too far into the weeds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And we do have, what is it? The Rocket Sound Enhancements mod installed, which actually adds a little bit of volume to this, as rocket motors should have. And the plumes are done by, oh my gosh, what's the name of that plume mod? Waterfall, of course. So two different mods adding beautification. For the most part, though, this is a stock game. All the gameplay is stock. I've just added in some UI improvements. Really, the biggest deviation from stock is just the SCANsat. Okay, I'm going to reduce the throttle here. In fact, I should really just turn it off and watch this from the moon's perspective here a little bit. Let's get going again. There we go. That is good enough. Okay, and now for our correction burn, so as to avoid actually hitting the moon. We are not interested in that. Like I said, I'm going to go a little bit to the south. And we're going to go for a 200-kilometer orbit. Each of the satellites, each of the scanners have their own range as to what they like to be in. And 200, you can see those ranges in the VAB, and 200 seems to be the range that is kind of a not quite the midpoint, but something that they could both live with, I guess is the better way to put it. A little bit of playing around to get it into the right time, and 200 I think I said. And there's nothing that needs to be precise about this. What's more important is to get the polar part of it. Do that with our eyeballs. We can maybe do some correcting as we go. Maybe a little bit of retrograde. So hard to tell. I think I'm splitting hairs. Good enough. Okay, so that burn is coming up in an hour and a half. Mike, have you done the Joule flybys? It will be fun watching you fly by every moon. Not in this series. Nope, not done that yet. We have gone to Eve a couple of times and to Gilly, all with probes. I'm kind of doing contracts as they appear. So, Joule is yet to come up. I'm noticing the burn time here is only a second, so I'm going to just reduce this throttle limiter dramatically to get that burn to be quite a bit longer. 10 seconds is good. And there's no reason to really wait until this gets down to 0. We can just do it at our leisure. It's not that time sensitive. here on the maneuver node. And 200, that's what I said. Lots of little pulses. Here we go, 19999. All right, that is definitely good enough. I got to keep orienting this for the solar panels. What I like to do with these is there is a north-south circle, so that's the 180 degree line on the Navball and the north line. So you just put it anywhere on that. Turn your satellite, whoops, until you are perpendicular. Oh, I don't know if I'm doing this right. No, that's not right. Just turn it until you can see 100% on here. Never mind. Just ignore me. Where's the sun? There we go. No, what you need to do, this is what you need to do. Put it so that your craft is parallel to the galaxy in the background, and now rotate till you see 100%. Oh, perpendicular. That'll be good. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's get out there. I'm just going to time warp to here. You can see how these are clicking up. We're at 31% now on that biome scan of Kerbal. Oh, where's the moon? Getting an orbit view. Oh, there we go. Oh, we just crossed the SOI. That's what we got. That there. Okay. What is our inclination like? That's a good question. Our inclination is 89.7. I do not know which way to go. I want to make it 89.7 is enough, but I don't know which way we'll get it to 90. So I'm just going to add a maneuver, and it's one of the normal directions. That makes it worse, so it's anti-normal. And I'm just going to lock to the anti-normal vector. I'm going to watch the inclination here. I think this engine is still set really low. It is. Just do a little. There we go. 90 right on the button. And that's still pretty darn close to 200 on a maneuver. And this is going to be it. Once we're there, we'll just start our scanners. And Bob's your uncle, as they like to say, as us old folks like to say. I have obviously no idea whether you have an Uncle Bob or not. I don't have an Uncle Bob. There we go. Turn this throttle limiter back on. Or back up. 9 seconds, that's a little tight. 15 seconds, sounds nice. Again, roll those solar panels so that they are perpendicular. And yeah, that should be about it. I don't know why I have this contract window open. None of these contracts are going to go. Yeah, definitely, this is going to be all about checking off boxes. Andrew Sam saying, yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. This is a checking off boxes type of day. So hopefully that will be satisfying for everybody. There we go. Free, for whatever reason, always seems to look better. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And 200 by 200, nothing super precise about any of it. So I have to get finicky about it anyway. Okay. Oops, I'm still locked on the retrograde. Okay, let's orient this again for solar panel purposes. Getting it parallel to the galaxy, rolling it to the solar panels are vertical. There we go. That should be good. All right, let's turn on our scanner. So our altimetry scanner, we'll start that. The radar, start the radar. And the multispectral analyzer, we'll start that one. And again, this is just going to work its way along here. We can show people again for those people that are new. I really like SCANsat. It is a great mod. I can switch my celestial body now to the moon. And we are doing, oh, you can see all my little flags that I've done for all my landings on the moon. It is now doing a biome scan. We are in the daylight. Ugh. We also should be doing an altimetry scan. That doesn't require, I think because the biome scan, you need to be over the daylight. I'm not over the night side, can't say it, the day side of the moon, and we're kind of like along the Terminator, so I'm not quite sure what it's, but you can see if I go forward a little bit and hit the refresh button, I think we're making an altimetry scan. I'm not sure if we're making the biome scan. No, it must think we're at night. And I'm not sure if we're doing the visual scan. No, it thinks we're at night for that one too. The other thing you want to do is take a look at these hash marks, and you just want them nicely spread out. And they seem to be very nicely spread out, so I'm just going to leave them just the way they are and let this thing do its job. Okay, let's go back to Kerbal. That's the way it's going to be, isn't it? Why did I do it this way? Whoa. Kerbal. Okay. And look for our polar satellites. See if we can... Let's take a look at these. See if we can not squeeze some science out of them. So, switching to that one. Well, thank you, Bruno. I'm glad that the videos help. Okay, so this is, what is this? This one's the high-res altimetry scanner, or high-res visual scanner. You can see it's just like a telescope. Kind of a little mini Hubble. Analyze data is how you pull science out. Still no data, so I guess it has to be at 100%, and then you get the data. I'm certainly hoping so, anyway. Okay, with that there, let's get back to the Space Center and decide what it is we're going to do. I suppose I should do that visual scan. I still have a contract to do a high-resolution visual scan of the moon. Unfortunately, I accepted that one. So why don't we get that one going? It won't take long. I think I just need to modify what I got. So here is... where is it? Mun MapSat 1. You know, it's funny, earlier in this series I was all about like giving everything these technical sounding names, and then I kind of stopped and just started calling them like MapSat and stuff like that. Okay, this is the one we just were with, so let's modify this to do the high resolution visual scan. So let's just delete the fairing for now. I may need to do some further modifications. So this is no good. This is no good. That's already out there. And the one I need is this guy, right? I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, high resolution visual scan. Yeah, it does high res vision. It says it right there. Now, we do need to look at its requirements. It requires 1.5 units of electric charge per second, but it only runs in daylight, which means I don't need to worry about all kinds of batteries and stuff to keep it going. 1.5 is really not a lot. Like one of these OxSats, put this out of the way, is well, maybe I should stick with these ones. Yeah, let's stick with the deployable ones, but I don't need all of those by any stretch. Just need 2 of them, I think. Even 2 is one. And so I don't need this ginormous columns of struts. Bring this right down like that. See, already this is getting much more calm. What does that give me for a delta V. That gives me 2,042 meters per second of DV and a significant thrust to weight ratio. Is that too much is the question. Let's get out the calculator. Oh, wait, I got it written still here. It's 860 to get to the moon, 280 for the capture. Actually, it'll be less than that, but it doesn't matter. That's 1140 with another oh no, I like that. I like that. 1140. So I'm going to budget. I think this is good. I think this will just service us just fine. Just need to put a booster on it. Let's do that. Build the fairing. This might be it. This might be a quickie. This is obviously before I save. This is MapSat number 2. Save that. Show where this is in the staging. It's staged in a good spot. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Total delta V is 4948. Am I happy with that? I am more than happy with that. I think I just need, let's see, if I add on the 3600, which is what I budget for the orbit, 4740. How the heck with it? If it's too big, it's too big. It doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. Make it shiny. I think this is good. Launch TWR 0.38. Can maybe tweak that down a stitch. It's a little overbuilt, but it's only money. Okay. That's going to be my mantra. I've gotten past the point in this game where money's always really tight. It's always early on that money's really tight, and then later on, all of a sudden, it's like, money. I don't need to worry about every... You know, that's why people are always at, you should return your boosters and all that. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, we're going to move this staging up to here, and we're going to take the staging out because I have that on an action group. Otherwise, I don't see why this just won't go, so let's just go. Let's just go indeed. And then I'm going to get out of this SCANsat business. We'll take a look at those other contracts, and some other time I'll be sending a bunch of mapping satellites to Minmus, because clearly having all those biome maps really does help. Okay, yeah, we're just going to the moon, so throttle up. Full throttle, go. We're off, we're off, we're off. We're off, we're off, we're off. Last time, when I went to lock to prograde, I actually locked to retrograde last week. Needless to say, that rocket did not go to space that day. I won't make that mistake. Yes, Zero Lad is asking about my Let's Do the Math series, and yes, I was a math teacher. I'm now retired, but I definitely was for well over 30 years. And did that, and I don't know. I always had this long-term vision of resurrecting that series, doing it over again and trying to make it clearer and more accessible to more people. I thought KSP2 was going to be my vehicle for doing that. Obviously, that did not materialize. But the Kitten Space Agency, I mean, I don't want to count anything too far ahead, but Kitten Space Agency is certainly looking exciting. It's going to be a long time, I think, still until we have what I would call a game and have it out there in full access, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe math videos might be in the future again, but am I using Kerbalism? No. No. I wanted to keep, for whatever reason, I made at the beginning decision at the beginning of this series that this was going to be pretty much just a dressed up stock game. So all the gameplay is stock, and Kerbalism definitely changes the gameplay quite a lot. So no Kerbalism involved. Normal stockish stuff. I know SCANsat and Kerbalism don't really get along. I'm not sure if that's the origin of that question. Okay, reduce throttle a little bit. We got a sonic boom. We had a sonic boom discussion last week. which actually continued into the YouTube comments about when would be the appropriate time to hear the sonic boom, and it was speculated it has to do with where the camera is. If you're behind here, I don't know. Definitely, if you're traveling with it, it would be weird because the shock cone would change with your speed. So maybe depending on where your camera is, when the shock cone crosses where your camera is, maybe it's working that out. I don't know. It's weird. Where am I at? Okay, that is time for fairing deploy. I thought I had fairing deploy on. I do not. Okay. I thought I had that on an action group. Clearly, I missed the boat on that one. Okay. Alright, just about done with the big booster. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, and stage onto, again, the Spark. Obviously, very similar rocket. All I did was virtually the same thing with just the scanner change, stripped down a little bit. That's it. Just waiting until we're up to 80 kilometers now on the Apple WAPSs. Just wondering, as you have clamps separate to engine ignition. Just hang on a second. Yes, at the very, very beginning. Oh, and that's the question. That connects to the Kerbalism question. Just hang on. I'm almost at 80 kilometers. Yes, Gilgamoth is asking about, or mentioning that I ignite the engine, then I release the clamps. In the stock game, you typically don't have to do that because you're at full thrust, like almost immediately, I think, on pretty much every engine. I did that just because I like it that way, but you're right. With Kerbalism, where you can have engine failures, you definitely don't want to release both at the same time, because if you get a ignition failure right off the bat, it's nice to not have to let your rocket drop. Okay, where are we at? Oh, we gotta still circularize this business. But that's just a habit that I got into, doing the clamps after the engine ignition. Maybe it came from Kerbalism. I don't know. Maybe, whatever. I just do that now. I like it. I like that split second of, engine ignition, go! You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, let's burn. Okay, come on, little rocket. Still got a bit to go on that periapsis. Very nice. Okay, very nice. On our way to the moon to join our other satellite that is over there. So this is a rinse and repeat type of thing. Oh, I know what I forgot. Okay, I'll have to look at it. Just a second. Set that as a target. I forgot to look at what is the ideal altitude for this scanner. So we'll do that in just a little bit. Same plan though, hit the moon, adjust into a polar orbit. So I'll have to drop back to the VAB to check the description of this thing, and I don't think it doesn't tell me here. Find out what altitude it should be at. No, it doesn't tell me. Hello, Oliver. Welcome. Glad you can make it. We are sending another Scanning satellite to the moon, and then I am done with all this SCANsat malarkey stuff. I want to start looking at other contracts. Malarkey's the right word. Okay. Four and 3 and 2 and 1 and 9. Am I promised to do the Problem Worlds mod in a live stream? I know it looks really cool. I've been looking at some of the videos. I'm not sure. I rarely do planet packs. Like anyone who's watched any of what I do, I like career mode. I like playing contracts. I don't really do well in sandbox games. There are so many amazing sandbox games, and I run out of steam in all of them. And obviously, doing the Promised Worlds is just, you know, you got to get into sandbox, you got to install some other parts. And I don't know. I guess the short of it is, it's not something I typically do, but it's not something I'm ruling out either. That's the best answer I can give. I'm not sure what I would add that other people don't add, because it's not a mode of play that I normally employ. I'm much more happy just getting like, here's a contract, let's figure out how to do it, as opposed to, I don't know, just hacking around. I don't know. I'm talking about it too much as it is. Okay, let's set up our avoidance maneuver, our moon avoidance maneuver. Actually, no, let's stop and get back to the Space Center and figure out what I should set the altitude at. This one is a, I'm being asked by Andersam which one this one is, and this one is a high resolution visual scan, which normally I wouldn't even do, except I was dumb enough last week to pick up the contract for it. So if I'm banging off contracts, I got to send this out there. So I'm back here just to look at, okay, ideal altitude, best altitude, 350 kilometers. Thank you. So now let's do that. 350 kilometers. Let's see. Oh my gosh, too much noise. There we go. I think one of the things I'm going to want to do is start bringing some Kerbals back. I've had Kerbals in orbit of the moon and Minmus for a long time. And maybe it's time to start rotating them around. I'm not playing with any kind of life support mods, so I don't need to worry about all that kind of stuff. $350 kilometers, I believe. Oh, why'd you go off the maneuver, you stinker? Always like to find the time that maximizes how much I'm getting here. So all I'm doing is jumping up, what is it, 200 seconds at a time. Just looking at, oh, there it is. It's maxing out around here. Even though that doesn't save me that much fuel. Anything around the halfway point is going to be fine. 350, right? I got the brain of a sieve. Let's see. And does that look kind of perpendicular-ish? As far as I can tell from here, it is. Polar-ish? Yeah, 350. Thank you. Oh, that's the wrong... I was hitting prograde for some dumb reason. Put that back to 0. Back to here. This one. 350. And again, there's nothing precise about it. It'll work fine either way. There we go. Okay, once again, we do have very short burns, so we'll try and lengthen it a bit. Okay, let's get out there. Mostly actually it is purely anti-normal, isn't it? I'll just keep it locked on that. 10-second burn. Do not have to wait for 0. I can see there is a solar eclipse in progress down there on Kerbal. Not for us, but on Kerbal. You can see the shadow down here. Of course, the fact that it happens every 6 days on Kerbal because of the moon's 0 inclined orbit, I suspect that they're just less special. They're just less special for Kerbals. They're like, yeah, solar eclipse, so what? Okay, 350. The crown and number thing in the chat. Yeah, that's something YouTube added. You get points for chatting. None of us have really deciphered exactly how these points distribute, other than the fact that they do max out. So just spamming the chat doesn't help. But there is some points given for whether you are the first person. I don't know exactly how it does it, but it's ranking the chatters and giving them little crowns. It's, I don't know. It's there to encourage engagement, I suppose. What is which I shouldn't complain about. 87.9 degrees. I'm going to just guess which way to go. So if I go anti-normal, does that make it better or worse? That's making it better. That was 100% a guess. Let's get that inclination right at 90. Beautiful. You can see our other one here doing its job. It's scanning away right here. And here comes number 2. Just take a quick look at the contracts. How are we doing on percentages? This one's now up to 56%. It's in the lead. The multispectral scan of Kerbal. The low resolution altimetry scan's only at 1%, so it's got a ways to go. The biome scan of Kerbal is not even going yet. That's disconcerting. I didn't do anything wrong with that one. Oh, it flipped. The periapsis and apoapsis flipped, I mean. That means you're pretty much at a circle. Okay, okay. 15 experience points per message, 5 messages, and you're maxed out. Okay. But I'm wondering if there's a new max after a period of time, which would seem to only make sense, but I have no idea. Whoa. 40-second burn, don't want that. 14-second burn seems better. Oh, it might again only be doing, yeah, the multispectral scan. Well, I don't know. It might be messed up because it's going right along the terminator. It thinks it's at night or something like that. Four, 3, 2, 1, and go. Need my orbital info here. Beautiful. Okay. There we go. Oops. Still locked here. There we go. And this one has a nice little animation. I like it. So if I start the visual scan, little lid opens up and it's there. Filming away. Okay, that is that. So with that all out of the way, let's open up our contracts here. I do not want to accept any more contracts. I'm done. So these are all the scanning. Not until at least I start to bang some of these off. Okay, I got some A-class asteroid. Okay, that's going to be for the future. I want to do some of these low-lying fruit ones. I got some Minmus scanning ones. I definitely should do that. Oh my god, I have too many. Conduct seismic surveys near this thing. Okay, that involves dropping a rover on the surface of Minmus. I could do that. Conduct seismic surveys of the moon. Okay. That's a possibility. That's a rover on the moon. B-class asteroid, that's going to have to be... Oh, and bring it into orbit of Eve. I'm sure I didn't notice that. I hate this game. Sometimes I really, really hate this game. When it just in the middle of everything... Whatever. I mean, that's doable. It's just annoying. Why would I want to do that? It's way harder than what the rewards make it worth. I don't know. There's a pretty good payout, I guess. Okay, C-class asteroid. Recover module MFK GW from the surface of the moon. Recover Zumbinus, who is one of my Patreons, and his scrap from orbit of Minmus. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like this one. I like this one. I really do. I really do. So that let's take a look at that. So I have a crew in orbit of Minmus. Come on, just how do I get it to show everything? There we go. I have a space station with a crew aboard it in orbit of Minmus. This is his scrap. I know I don't have to only rescue him. And you can see perpendicular. Oh my gosh, perpendicular to the station. Thankfully, it's Minmus station. So now plane changes in Minmus aren't that expensive. It's not a big deal, but what I need, I think, is the grabber unit. So here's my thought. Here's my thought to do this mission is build a little probe, put the grabber unit on it with a little bit of extra thrust. Hook on to Zumbinus here, and then change his plane, rendezvous with the station, and oh, wait a second. Oh no, I have to bring the scrap back, don't I? I have to recover the scrap. I think I might still do that. And then just build a probe that's capable of grabbing the scrap and returning to Minmus, or returning to Kerbal and come down and recover. Can I take a look at this? I can view him in the tracking station. Grabby claw, I know. Oh no, but yeah. There is, I do have one on the moon for doing it in, but Zumbinus' scrap. Do I have any info on Zumbinus? Other than he was discovered up there 340 days ago. It's a Class A object. Do I have no information in terms of his mass or anything like that? Really? And I can't... I guess I just gotta... I wish it would just at least tell you what you got. What do I got to hook onto? Alright. It's got to be some sort of capsule, so we'll do that. There we go. There we go. That's going to be the mission. That is our mission. That's going to keep me busy. So, if I were to guess, Minmus is going to be in some sort of capsule and something I think I've already unlocked. So what I can do is look at what is the heaviest capsule that he could potentially be in. There's 1.8. And then, you know, plan for that. This one's 2.4. That's probably... Can I not? I can't even use this until I... Okay, fine. I keep saying it's only money. So I do have the Mark III command pod. Come on. There we go. So, if I hook onto this, that's 2.4 kilograms. I don't know why I even brought that. So let's get the octo. I do have the grabber units. Not 100% sure where they are. Oh, they're up here. I have the junior and the senior. I'm going to start with the junior. Yeah, these scrap ones can be harder than you thought. I'm being told. Zero Lad said he did one of these this morning. Around Minmus should be okay. So this is your grabber unit. I think the small one should be fine. So what I'm going to do, let's think about this. It's got to get to Minmus. I got to open up of course I didn't do this ahead of time. But open up my my spreadsheets and Delta V maps and all that stuff because I'm always forgetting. So it is this guy. I always hate doing this because I know you can't see it, but so I got Minmus is 930. A capture is 180, and then you got to come back. That's 180. So that gives me a total of... Now I also have to do some couple of plane changes too. Now just one plane change. 190-degree plane change. But it's Minmus. That shouldn't be so bad. But ignoring the plane change that's going to be required, I'm getting 1290 for the budget from low Kerbal orbit. Add on really just a few hundred more. Should be fine for doing all the plane changey stuff. So 13, let's call that 1600. So if I build something with that amount of Delta V and it has the Mark III command pod in it, on top of that, then I should be golden. So if I can give this thing about 1600, maybe 26, this is going to be bigger than I think. This is going to be bigger than I think. So let's start by increasing the size of, well, now that I'm looking at it, I should get the bigger grabbing unit, shouldn't I? Let's get the bigger grabbing unit. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a 2.5 meter service bay. We'll hide that in there. And we're going to get the big grabber unit. That's going to go on top. And inside there, we'll throw in some reaction wheels. Because there'll be reaction... Well, there might not be reaction wheels in the actual, depending on what thing he's in. We'll throw in some batteries. This should fit in nicely. Yep. A few of these. That should be plenty. Communitron antenna. Always need my Communitron antenna. Okay, that should be fine in terms of control. Okay, I'm going to stick this underneath. And now we're going to put some tanks on the bottom of this and just sort of see kind of what we get. Remember, this is going to come out. This is just to get the weight right get the stats right if I happen to have something really big. So I'm shooting for about 1600 meters per second right there. I'm going to go to a bigger diameter right away. We're going to go bigger. So we're going to scroll this up. Shoot this up to the next size up, which is the 1.875 meter size. I do have... Oh, that's like that. I want to go... There's my transition between the two. Maybe this. Be a cheetah. Oh my golly, that's huge. Okay, so that's already way too big. Probably just scale it down to the Terrier again. That's still a lot. Fuel-wise, it's a lot too. Will Spark serve me better in here? That is so much. Okay, maybe I won't go bigger. I was thinking going bigger, but now maybe I won't go bigger. Okay, we can go with one of these, one of these. Oh, that's because I took this out, you big galoot. Okay, that's why I'm so puzzled. Because I took the monstrous, this big stupid thing out of there. That's why. Alright, here we go. That's making more sense. So, 2600 I would love. So I'm going to go a little bigger still. Bigger. Might need a bigger motor too. That's a little too big. That's in the right ballpark. Ew, DV is a little bit... Oh, but you know what? I'm not going to need it. No, DV is going to be fine. DV is going to be fine. So now if I put in this fella... I mean, sorry, I was looking at thrust to weight ratio. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine because it's not going to fly up with this thing. It's going to come down. In fact, this is, if anything, is going to be quite... Oh no, this is going to be good. Okay, I got it. Getting ideas. So I'm going to take this one out. We're going to throw it away. Come back here. Copy that. And we'll make a checkerboard. There we go. Isn't that pretty? There we go. That's just our basic recover. Oh, this thing's got to recover though. It's got to make its way back through the atmosphere. So that means some sort of heat shield. Oh, and it could be as big as 2.5 meters. Heat shield. Where am I going to sneak a heat shield in this? I've been not paying attention to the chat while I was looking at all this kind of stuff. Make sure your heat shield is wide enough to protect the scrap. Yep. That's what I was just realizing. I do have a 2.5 meter heat shield. I'm just thinking where to plunk it. That gets plunked there. That'll be clearly wide enough. This is going to be an ugly bob, I tell you. Because I just don't know what I'm in for. I put a decoupler on that. And then a structural, like... Oh, this is already getting big, though. I might need more fuel. More fuel. More fuel, he says. Now that I'm thinking about the heat shield and a fairing to cover this whole mess. 22. I might have been better off with what I had here before. That one. I'm fine with that. Fine with that. The DV is fine. Okay. Put a little bit more fuel on this. Gonna need some kind of... So, like, I'm picturing a capsule stuck to the top. I'm not gonna have a Kerbal. Oh, it's gonna need some sort of parachute. I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Do I have any kind of storage containers? I'm not gonna put on the parachutes now. What I'm gonna do instead is have some Kerbals put the parachutes on. But I have... really don't need much. Into there's gonna go a couple of parachutes. We'll throw in some of these radial guys. Oh my gosh, I need big. I was gonna put in 2 or 3 of them, but one already more than half fills it. Okay, so I'm gonna need a bigger storage container. Well, I got this fella. That's 150 kilograms there. Put on a couple of these radially. Maybe that's the better plan. No, better plan, better plan. I'm gonna have room under this fairing just like this. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's our parachutes to get them down. I'll have an engineer on the station, because we are going to go to the station with this, put the parachutes onto the probe body. We're going to transfer Zimbinus over to the station. He'll come down with the rest of the crew, or she, and then this thing's going to come back on its own, so if anything ends up being destroyed, you know, Kerbals die, all of that kind of fun stuff, then it should be, you know, at least it's just the contract failing instead of Kerbals dying. I'll still have a Kerbal. Okay. I need some kind of fairing to go around this awful thing. Do I want to go as big? I think I gotta go as big as 2.5. I'd love to put something on the top upside down, but I have no attachment point up there. Why to the station? Why not directly from to the back from orbit? I'm assuming you mean, yeah, to the, because I don't want the Kerbal to be on this thing when it's coming down, and I want to bring the crew back from the station anyway. So I'm gonna, that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping I got enough actual. Now I'm thinking I might. I don't know. We'll figure something out, or maybe, I don't know. We're making this up as we go. The main short of all of this is I just don't want the Kerbal coming down with this awful thing. I want this thing coming down without a Kerbal in it. But maybe I'll end up changing my mind as I go. I still got to figure out how to get a fairing around all this. You know, it might be better. Keep that. Go down to the smaller decoupler here. That looks like crap. I hate that. Can I take the shroud off? I can't. I hate that so much. I mean, I could stick it there, but then I'm worried that's going to get glitchy. Might not. We'll test this thing in orbit. Oh, I don't have the ability. Oh, yes, I do have the ability to test. It does not want me to make those. How about... Oh, I got this. Maybe that'll look better. Now I can't get that to throw this away. Couldn't reach the decoupler there. There. It's that shroud that I hate passionately. There we go. That's all. This is all I was shooting for. It wasn't that complicated, was it? That's better. So this is my vessel. My vessel of doom. No, just like that. $3,409. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I've been flapping enough. The antenna, I don't like the way the antenna is right now, so actually I'm just gonna move this. Because I can see the antenna is gonna clip into... I'm just gonna have it come straight back. Like so. This can be closed. It's not completely awful, I don't think. I should test this in orbit just to make, because the staging is very complicated, and just make sure, well, not complicated, but there's a lot of parts. There's a potential for glitchiness in there. So what we're gonna do, this is Rescue 1. Rescue Probe 1. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I don't, because I'm playing in hard mode, I don't have the ability to revert back to the VAB. So the way I have to test this is by starting a simulation in orbit. Kerbal orbit selection, I can do this from Kerbal. Sure, 75 is fine. And this is really just to check the staging. RCS for the approach. Very good. Thank you, Oliver. I'll definitely do that. So we're just going to make sure that everything stages okay. So first things first is the fairing. Yeah, I mean it's staged right. Then we'll oh, there's an engine there. And then we will stage and yeah, okay, that's all good. That's all I wanted to see. So terminate that simulation. Cost me a little bit of money, but it was well worth it. Okay, RCS was suggested and rightly suggested, so that's going to be, well, you know what? I can have Kerbal's move RC. Oh no, you know what? All it's got to do is dock itself. Nope, not a problem. Let's delete the fairing. I just realized that. Where's the center of mass? Just get some frickin' frickety frackety. The smaller one should be fine. I don't think this is really heavy, is it? How heavy is this? Almost 10 tons. You know what? Let's go with the bigger one. Put on 4 for now, and let's open up RCS Build Aid. I got to put some monoprop on this thing too, but one thing at a time. Dry mass is way up here. And by the time we're at Minmus and doing the rendezvous, most of this fuel is going to be gone. So I really need to have these RCS blocks. Is this going to be... I don't think this will be problematic if they're up there like that. At least I certainly hope not. Ugh, I need... You know what? They really should be in the middle here. What I'm going to do is put in a little fuel can. I guess it's going to be you. That back. Right about there, I'm guessing. So it's fairly close to this dry mass. I think that should be okay. I'm hoping that'll be okay. It's pretty forgiving. It should be okay. Okay, we're going to right-click on this. We're going to change the actuation toggles, taking off the yaw pitch and the roll. There. Oh, and monopropellant. I need some monopropellant, but I don't need a lot. A little bitty amount of monopropellant. This is... Where's my... Do I not have the really small? I don't. I only have the Stratus 5. Okay. might use this guy. These hold the same amount, right? 200. Sorry. 20 units, 20 units. Let's just stick this in here somewhere. I'm sure I can find a home for him. Do I have one of them, their structural tubey things? Oh, I do. I do. Little tube. Oh, that's the 2.4. Do I not? Oh, shoot. Oh, I only have the... I don't have the... Ah, shoot. This is the 2.1 point... There, that's what I wanted. Why? I don't understand why that was hard. And then we're going to put the can... Alt. There. And then this should go on top. Beautiful. I love it. Okay, there we go. Solar, batteries, antenna. Yeah, I got the battery. Solar simple enough. Because it's not going to require a lot. I can get away with it up here. For sure. That will most certainly do for solar. Starting to like them. Starting to like them. Let's think about action groups. No, lights. Lights. So... Oh, I know what I'm doing. We're going to put some spotlights right on top of here. Should be one on the other side. This is for lighting our approach. This is for lighting our approach. Pitch them 10 degrees in. I gotta rotate them to 270. Lovely. Might not have been a good idea to maybe tilt them back 5 degrees. Alright. Lights off. And then what we'll do in the action groups, go to lights action group. Where's my lights? Take them out of the light action group. And on the gear action group, we will toggle that big thing. So toggle arming, and we'll toggle the lights at the same time. And then that way, when I hit gear, this will open up and these lights will come on. I'm excited about that. Stick a few dome lights in here just for somewhere. Come on. Why am I not seeing? Why I want to click on the bottom there? That's interesting. Okay, I'll put them on the top. Put little dome lights in there. Just to light up that interior for whatever reason I feel like it. Oh, that antenna is going to clip with the doors, isn't it? It sure is. Okay, so I don't like that. Like you. Much better. Okay, and it just needs just general blinky lights. For reasons. Amber lights. Blink on, half-second intervals. There we go. All right, I think this is getting close. Okay. Action group on the lights. Action group. I also want these doors to open. And I want this antenna to deploy. Beautiful. Close this again. We can now build the fairing. Once again. Four pieces, lots of force, clamshell deploy, make it shiny. On the action groups, we will put the antenna on the brakes action group. We will move it into its own spot on the staging diagram here, and we'll take it out of the staging. Oh no, I need to have it below here for now. Okay, okay, okay. Where's your checklist mod? I give up on the checklist mod. It's more fun just to do things wrong. I shouldn't say that, but that's where I am. Okay, we're gonna make everything shiny because shiny is good. All right, that is our basic probe. That is, I think, what it is. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, so let's build a booster on this thing and get her up there. Now, I think what I'm gonna need is an engine plate here, a 1.875 meter engine plate. That's you. So that you can go here. I do not think, oh, it does have a shiny mode. There we go. And I believe I'm probably gonna go, let's see what happens. Let's go 2.5 meters. Let's get a little bigger. A little bit bigger. With this, I think this needs to be a little longer. Beautiful. There. And 2.5 meter tank like that, and maybe I think I'm building it too big. I'm just suddenly looking at this going, I don't think I need to go this big. I'm looking for a DV. Where'd I write this stuff down on my crappy scrappy notes? 14, 16, 17. Saying numbers. 16. Looking for a total delta V about 4,200 meters per second. This is too much. So maybe I don't need to go that big. Maybe you can just stick with the 1.875 meter size. Like just a few of these. Why is that? Is that really my biggest? No, that was bigger. There we go. And then, you know, like a like a Bobcat. Bobcat's a good engine. 5,200 meters per second. Do I have the thrust? I have the thrust, so let's make it a little bigger. Still on Atmo. 5,200 meters per second. Got the thrust. She's a happy boy. Okay, a little bit of tail fins. Somebody asked me once, why do I always go with the small tail fins? And it's because I've never seen a reason to do anything else but that. Okay, checked staging, boom, boom, boom. That is good there. Oh, the fairing's in a funny spot. Don't like that. That can come there. 52 is still good. Launch TWR is still good. What do the engine plates give you that makes them worth the wait? The engine plates just really clean up this transition right here. It puts in this piece, because if I just put a decoupler here, my choices are to go with the... No, it's a good question. To go with the 1.25 meter decoupler, because that's a 1.25 meter engine, but then that looks like that, and then I have to go big again, and then I got this narrow part in the middle. I didn't like it. Or I could go with the 1.875 meter decoupler, which is this one, And then the shroud always looks awful. So it's really just an aesthetic choice so that when I put that on there, it looks like that. That's the entire reason. Probably the rocket would fly exactly the same whether I did that or not. Okay, we are taking the fairing out of the staging. We're putting on some launch clamps, and I'm getting ready to push that launch button. It's an upside down decoupler, but it automatically gets a nice transition. That's really what it is. Actually, it's a little more than that for the upside down decoupler, because what it's really there for is to mount engines on, and you can actually put more than just a single node on the bottom. So if all of a sudden you want to put in 4 little engines instead of 1 big engine, the engine plate gives you the flexibility to do that. So it is more than just simply a weird decoupler. I think I'm going with this. I really am. Yeah. Yeah. I've been staring at it. Let's go. Let's go. That is from, yes, I'm being asked by Ed's Hobby Cafe. Is that from DLC? And it is. It is the Making History DLC. I believe that gives you that one. The Making History DLC gives you all kinds of other stuff too. Okay, I am going to, what contract am I going for? Just this one. So I'm going to move that over to the other window, and I'm going to just hide all the rest of these. Hopefully while we're on our way to Minmus, some of these SCANsat contracts will satisfy. So this will remind us of our contract. And we are doing a night launch. I hope people don't mind. Oh, and there's a thunderstorm over there in the background. That's always nice. Okay, let's... Oh, we might not be doing a night launch because I still got to get to our launch window going to Minmus. So we're setting Minmus as a target. I like to launch when I'm underneath Minmus's orbit and go into the matching plane. Not everybody likes to do that, but I do. And I can see here that that isn't going to happen for another almost 3 hours. We just missed a window, it looks like. Should I go for it anyway? I think I might. Let's go for it anyway. I need to launch to the south. So boom, Z, and go. We're off. We're already just missed a launch window, from what I can see. We're going to launch 6 degrees towards the south, so that's 90 plus 6, so that's about 96. I like to go a few more, 97 degrees on my heading or so. Lock that onto prograde vector, and we'll watch that thunderstorm. Definitely saw a little bit of lightning back there. It's coming from the Black Rack's volumetric clouds. Oh, we're going through some clouds. Oh, it is dark. I'm hoping people can see stuff. Maybe this night launch was a bad idea. Oh, I am way low. Way pitched over too far low. I'm just locking that onto, taking it off of lock to prograde, and just kind of letting it point up. Point up, you stinker. That was a fail on my part. Let it go past. We get to about 12 kilometers, and I'll lock it back onto prograde. That was silly. Okay, there we go. My mistake there. And I want to watch that inclination. When it gets to 6 degrees, I'm going to lock this onto the orbital vector. I don't know if people saw that flash, but I sure did. Reduce throttle a bit. 6 degrees. Orbit. Orbit. There we go. Oh, we're going to... On to the next one. Probably more throttle needed. I hope this thing wasn't ill-conceived. I'm a little worried about it. Oh, I have to pitch up a little bit. Don't have quite enough thrust. Too much DV on the top half, not enough on the bottom half. Hoping it's going to be okay. Thinking it's going to be okay. Oh, that Terrier might not have been the right choice for the engine. I'm only 25 seconds from my prograde, and if I hit 0 on this, that means I'm going to start going down, which is obviously a bad thing. This is not an efficient launch. Not an efficient launch. We are too low in the atmosphere. You silly Billy. You can see what my angle of attack is like from the prograde vector to where my ship is. That's not good. That is not good. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we got. I should have gone up just steeper. Fortunately, too much talking and I can't revert back. I'm getting close to the point where I might just let this go because I think I botched it. Botched it. Botched it. Three degrees to Appalachia. I'm just like right on top of Appalachia right now. This is not. This is silly. What do I need to get to Minmus again? 1300 meters per second to get to Minmus and back. So, oh, that's no. We're gonna no. You know what? No, we're gonna let this one go, folks. I botched it. I should have just gone up more steeply. I forgot. I don't have a lot of. Yeah. Yep. Bad. What I'm gonna do, I'm hoping that I'll get the apoapsis out of the atmosphere, and then that should allow me to go back. So at least it gets into space, and I can go back to the space center. This is not good. Not good. All I'm doing is I'm going to push my apoapsis up to 80 so I can leave this, go back to the Space Center, and it'll just die without me having to look at it anymore. Yeah, there's no way I got the fuel from Minmus. Not absolutely zero. So, and it's because I pitched over to. I think the rocket's okay. I think it's just it was the Ascent that was bad. I shouldn't have pitched over as far as I did. See, it happens to all of us. Alright. Okay, apoapsis is now well out of the atmosphere. What I'm going to do is just lock that onto the prograde vector. I'm going to time warp out of the atmosphere. To be honest, it does have the fuel to get there and back, but not towing a large, potentially large capsule in its wake, which unfortunately it probably will have to do. So we're going to do this again. It's not a big deal. Okay, there we go. I'm in space. That allows me to go back to Space Center. Never look at that again. Never look at it again. It's all good. And this time I'll time warp the daylight. Okay, we're going back in here. We're going to launch. Ooh, there's a sound. I don't like the sound of that. Oh, I am already being told my mission's a failure. No, just because one launch failed doesn't mean the whole mission. We can go again. It's too late to test the descent now. Too late for that now. We're just going to go again. Rinse and repeat. Okay, so this time this time will be better. Set that as a target. We're going to time warp to our launch window. Oh my gosh, I do like the sound. Which is 2 hours and 46 minutes away, which will definitely get us into the daylight. So let's do that. Oh, here comes the rain. We'll let this thunderstorm pass. Trying to see the number outside the clouds. 15 minutes to our launch window, 10 minutes to our launch window, 5 minutes. And this one should be... Last time I went to the south, so this one I should definitely be going towards the north. I am. So I'll be subtracting 6 degrees rather than adding 6 degrees. To 90. And I'm going to head straight up for a little bit. Rather than... All right, we're about 20 seconds away. SAS on, throttle up. We're just looking here at time to relative ascending node. It doesn't have to be super precise, so let's do this and go. So this time I'm gonna go straight up before I pitch over. Straight up for a little longer. And we're go, let's see, 90 minus 6 is 84, 83 degrees. Okay, let's start pitching over this time again. Lock that on. 83 degrees is what I'm shooting for. That's a little too much. Oh, I'm so happy to have my clouds back. Wonderful. There we go. We are going very much steeper than we did before. Probably aired a little bit too much on the steepness, but I think that's better than the other way around. Okay, reducing throttle. Keeping an Apple axis nearby. What's my inclination like? 4.4. It's got to do better than 4.5. Keep going. Okay, 5 degrees on the inclination. A sonic boom. Oh, nope. Stick on that surface until we are at 6. Gonna be losing that stage. And 2, 1, and boom, and then full throttle on you. It should be better this time. 5.6 degrees. Lose the fairing. I think I put that on brakes, right? Yeah, there it goes. 5.8 degrees. What's my Apple axis at? Getting close to 5.9 degrees. Okay, 6 degrees on the inclination, locking to orbit. Oh, do not make me pitch up again. Make me pitch. I'm going to pitch up just a little bit. really did make a bad choice of motor for here. I thought it was going to be okay. Come on, baby. Oh my gosh. 5 seconds, 4 seconds to apoapsis, and this is gonna start going down. Me no like. Okay. This maybe needs a redesign. Poop sores. Well, we'll see what it's like when this gets to orbit. It's better than that. Okay, just ticked up to 3 seconds to apoapsis now. Could be okay. We might still be okay. 4 seconds to apoapsis. Inclination 6.1. It should come a little more this way. 5 seconds to apoapsis. Eight seconds. It's climbing now. I'm gonna try and nurse this thing there. Regardless. That's gonna be my plan. We got Kerbals in orbit about Minmus. Maybe they can go over and help. Don't know yet. Go for a refuel at the station. I do have a lot of fuel there. I just don't want to build anything else. I'm out of building mood. What's my inclination at? 5.7, so I'm a little bit too far that way. Right now, I can see things moving in the chat, but I really need to sort of just keep attention to, I think, 6 degrees. Let's just lock that back to prograde. And now I can actually reduce throttle. Wow. 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 Might need to drop by the station for a refuel. Or have the Kerbals go out and visit it and refuel it. Whoops, that's the, you know, I'm in orbit business. We're going to make this work. Oh, wait, we are not... Shoot. I'm not high enough. I just assumed I was in space. Oh, my God. I just panicked. Panicked there. I all of a sudden noticed I was only at 68 kilometers and I panicked. And then I gave a ton of thrust and now my apoapsis is over 88 kilometers, but that's okay. I think a visit at the station is in order for a little bit more fuel. Yep, refueling at the station. Oh, refueling at Minmus station. We're going to be refueling. So our first target's going to be Minmus station. So a change in mission plan. That's okay. That's okay. Lights. That was work. That was work. It almost has enough fuel to go to Minmus. It does have enough fuel to get to Minmus, get in orbit, and come back. But it doesn't have enough fuel to do all the other shenanigans it needs to do, especially with the fact that it's going to need to attach to some sort of pod. So I think my first stop is going to be Minmus Station, and we're going to fuel her up. Thankfully, I have virtually an orbit here. Now it's an orbit. Just make it a circle. Okay. Let's get ourselves to Minmus Station. So, focusing our view here. Oh, I guess I should have put a maneuver node. Silly. Maneuver node. Out we go. There's Minmus, and where's our station? There we go. There's our station. That is our... We'll get to you someday, Minmus. It will happen. I promise. I promise. Okay, Minmus intercept. Now, how are we for getting into the plane of Minmus? Or not the plane of Minmus, I'm sorry, but the plane of our station. Not super great, is it? Oops, that was too much. So same thing, we're going to hit Minmus, and then we're going to make a mid-course correction. You can see I want to rendezvous with the station right here, and you can see that we're a little bit of an angle, so we're going to have to make a plane change. I could wait longer to make the transition and let Minmus travel along in its orbit, and that will actually change this angle, but I'm not going to do that because plane changes in Minmus are so cheap, it's not worth my time. So I'm just going to burn what I see right here, and that burn's coming up in just a little over 16 minutes. Yeah, we are in a roundabout way eventually going to be rescuing a Kerbal and bringing back their craft, and I have an ill-conceived vessel, you know, and it's my own dumbness. Like, I have 2.5 meter parts. I have big engines. I have the bore. I have the mainsail engines. I could have just overbuilt something massive. But what do I do instead? I'm like such a cheapskate. No, I can do this just using the little Terrier engine. I can do it. And I don't know, might have still saved myself money, to be honest, losing 2 of those rather than building some big massive thing, but I like having my margins close to the lines. Okay. Okay, 10 seconds to the burn. This burn is a little over a minute, so I'll give a little bit of time warpiness to this. A little bit of alt period. Alt full stop, as my UK friends would say. The engines there momentarily. Just do this pretty slowly for the rest. Where is... Why am I not seeing... Oh, here it is. That's pretty good. All right, so off to Minmus we go. Mid-course correction time. Oh, come on. There we go. And last time when I was doing those satellites earlier in the video, it didn't matter if I went north or south, but here it really does matter because I have to rendezvous with the station, and I can see that the station's coming this way around, counterclockwise from the way we're looking at it. So it's going to be coming towards us at the north, so we do have to go to the south to pull this trajectory this way. Oh, that, I overdid that. What am I doing? 0. Dramatically overdid that. Come back on that maneuver. Okay, we'll do it with the little widgety tool. There we go. Pulled it right out of Minmus's SOI by mistake. Yep, 43-degree plane change is going to be required. Should I flaff about with a radial part or anything? Or what happens if I do this? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. A bit like this. I like to get the encounter indicator, the PE, and the AN all in the same spot. And then you know, and I'm doing that with prograde retrogrades, but very tiny adjustments. Probably adjustments so small I won't be able to burn it this precise anyway, but you get the idea. So we'll have to come in here, make a 45-degree plane change. I don't think that'll be a big deal. All right, let's do it. At a 1.1 meter per second. I can do that with, I might try to do that with RCS. I think so. Let's get out there. I do want to watch. Oh, there's a notification. A contract is complete. Which one is complete? Conduct a multispectral scan of Kerbal. That is now complete with some monies. Good, good, good. Yeah, I'm going to try this just with RCS. So let's see how this is going to work for us. Should keep an eye on the monoprop, make sure I don't end up using too much of it. Okay, RCS on. Push. Yeah, that's working. Whoa, it went too far. Okay. Clearly, that worked absolutely fine, didn't it? Okay, there we go. We're done. That was the right call. Let that settle in there, and we will warp to here. Okay, Minmus, we're coming for you. Where are you? There it comes. There it comes. I forgot that I put the big blocks on there, so I actually have quite a lot of thrust with the RCS. There we are. We have just entered into Minmus's SOI. This thing's flipping around because what's normal and what's radial and all that just changed on me because I'm now in a much more of a polarish orbit. Let's see. Making this up as I go. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this apoapsis fairly high. That'll make the plane change really cheap. Now, notice that as I'm moving prograde retrograde, these close encounter indicators aren't moving, and that means that the maneuver node is not past the first close encounter indicator. So all you got to do is move ahead in 1 second jumps until they move. I just had to move ahead 1 second, and now, see how that changes everything? I'm going to leave that high. Doesn't have to be too high. That's going to be good enough. We'll facilitate a little bit of a rendezvous here. There's our close encounters. There. Actually, you know what? How much DV do I have left in this thing? 362? I'm fine. I'm going to fuel up at the station anyways. We'll do this all in one go. We're going to do this all in one go. We will fix the inclination as I rendezvous with the stations, what we're going to do. So I'm just going to go like this. Until I see a really close encounter. Oh, I'm almost down below. Okay, I can't go any lower, so I gotta go up. There we go. I think that's pretty much where I was. Okay, at 3.1 kilometers separation. Start fiddling with this a little more. 1.5, 0.3. Let's turn it right down. 0.5, 0.3, 0.3. 0.3 is good. Okay. So I got this 133 meter per second burn. We'll come around one more orbit. Then we'll be rendezvousing with the station. I have no docking ports or anything on this thing, obviously. So, I'll have to figure something out. I do have engineers aboard. They can move parts about and all that. Oh, I'm playing with the gimbal limit. I wanted to turn down the thrust limiter. Okay, where's Minmus? There you are. Who's your favorite of the... What is that? 4 OG Kerbals. I gotta go with Bob. Bob the scientist. There you go. Okay. Got a pretty... There's the moon with Kerbal right there. That looks nice. It's the kind of views you only get because you're in an inclined orbit with Minmus. Okie doke. So I'm looking at the time. I'm thinking actually after this burn I might call it. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do at the station. But I'm looking at the time of the stream and I'm thinking, yeah, this is taking a little longer than I thought it was going to. What else is new? Oh, I want to put this onto the rendezvous tab. Watch that approach. Sure why it's jumping around a lot. Oh, maybe I still have to move forward. Just, I don't know. Okay, now it's coming down. Saw 0.3. Oh my god, 361 meter separation there. Over there at the bottom left. Let's use a little RCS. I just messed it up with the RCS. Should have left well enough alone. It is perfectly fine. So all we've got to do... You can see here with our rendezvous is we're going to go around one more time, and in the meantime the station's going to go around one more time, and we're going to rendezvous with the station. Our encounter is going to be 129 meters per second. That's because of the inclination difference, but I still do have 229 meters per second, so I can do that with 100 meters per second to spare. We'll find some way to attach this to the station. I'm not going to use the grabber for it. I think you can transfer fuel for the grabber, but I don't want to do that. It just feels harsh. So we'll figure something out. Attach this to the station, give it some fuel, send it over, pick up poor, there he is, poor Zimbinus bring him back to, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm making this up as I go along, but I think all of that is going to have to be for next episode. So in the meantime, I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody who's watching this at a later date. Of course, an extra special thank you to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members. Hope you have yourself a fantastic week, and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Oop.